Enjoy the unlimited. That's what it says on the box of the Wanbo Vali 1, a $230 full HD capable projector. Sounds like a decent start, but is it? Let's inspect. Hi, my dear friends. So good to meet you. Michael here. You can call me the Tech Mishka. And today we are reviewing this. Well, it looks like a portable one. It's not because it's typically bound to a cable over here. It's a 1080p projector with Android TV as an operating system. Comes from a brand called Wanbo, and it's the first time I'm trying them out, but I'm closely following their development in the past few years, and they usually give you the promise of delivering more in terms of value and features at a given price point compared to other competitors. So that's going to be quite interesting. Therefore, we're going to unbox it, we're going to set it up, we're going to explore the image quality, all the features, and I'll try to tell you everything important in terms of what is good, what is weird, and which are the straight-up annoyances. So let's go! Even with just the unboxing, the Wanbo Vali 1 makes an impression. Weirdly formulated slogan, and the stamp that is supposed to act as guarantee that it is in mint untouched condition is a piece that everyone could remove without leaving any trace. Take the unit out of the box and you're gonna notice this minimalist design, white matte finish, and that unique gimbal-styled stand. About 200 degrees movement supported. Yes, you can lay it on the bed and project on the ceiling, something that has always felt weird to me. Turns out that there actually are fellows that like it. The Vali 1 is lightweight, very compact, and credit where it's due, the AC power port placement is super smart, keeping the cable tidy and out of the way. But let's talk about the overall experience. The first-time setup feels less polished than others in this price range. UI is basic, and there's a sense that you're dealing with a no-nonsense Android-based system. Functional? Yes. Intuitive? Sort of. Enjoy the unlimited and still trying to decode what it actually means. At under $250, I wasn't expecting cinema-grade visuals, but the Vali 1 manages a decent 1080p resolution on up to 120 inches. If your expectations are right. Colors are neutral, maybe a bit washed out in brighter scenes, and while sharpness is okay, there are a few picture adjustments available. No HDR support either, a bit of a bummer for contrast lovers. I was hoping to see a lot more color correction options, more grades of the brightness levels, and somehow a quick access panel in the ex-Jimmy style, but not here. Another thing to mention, there is no engine to smooth out jerky footage like here. If your video has motion stutters, this projector will show it. The brightness is 900 ANSI lumens, which, as a reference, sounds like twice more than what you get out of the portable ex-Jimmy Mo Go 4. As you can notice, brightness levels are rather comparable, and I'm curious whether your perception of the image quality matches mine in terms of choosing which is the better in this example. We have SDR quality, covering the sRGB color space, not sure about the exact depth though, so it won't have as good colors as projectors advertises covering the DCI P3 color space. Good news is that despite the modest price, there are automatic image adjustments. There's autofocus, but it's slow, like noticeably slow. It works eventually, and luckily accuracy is a lot better than the speed. There's automatic Keystone as well. This nice feature is correcting the distortions should you use a weird angle of projection. Same observation here, a bit slower than what you would hope for, but delivers excellent results. After all, it's not a portable projector, so to me it's important the fact that autofocus and Keystone both have automatic modes and accuracy is solid. Oh, and there also is a gaming mode. It reduces latency slightly, not enough to please hardcore console players, but casual gamers will appreciate it. Perfect for retro games or light sessions with Switch or handheld consoles. Or for games where being accurate to a millisecond is not crucial. Since the CPU speed is not superb, you better rely on external input such as a mini PC or a console, yet projectors are generally not ideal for such purposes anyway. But this is a good opportunity for us to be curious about the computing side of the Wanbo Vali 1. It comes with a snappy quad-core processor, just 1 GB of RAM, about 4 GB available internal storage space, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. We already mentioned most of the interesting optics-related facts, so let me point to the operating system, which is Android TV. Think of it as a combo. They've taken a rather good 1080p projector, bound it to Android TV, and released it all together. And overall, the computing power of this body is acceptable. And despite the fact we have just 1 GB of RAM inside, I would say the interface is snappy enough and performs almost as good as devices which have 2 or 4 GB inside. So that's definitely not something I would point to as a serious drawback, especially knowing that it would only struggle if you load it with RAM-intensive apps, which probably would be most Android TV-enabled games, but most of them are fairly boring. Therefore, yeah, I think the overall pack is good, in terms of hardware at least. And now, time to look at the software side. It runs Android TV based on Android 11, which means it's snappy, responsive, familiar to anyone who has used the Google certified TV interface. No weird reskins, no bloatware, no spammy apps pre-installed, just clean, fast Android TV. Security patch? Well, it's from last year, not a deal breaker, but worth noting if long-term updates matter to you. As for streaming, excellent. Thanks to the Widevine L1 certification, you get full HD playback on Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, YouTube. All the major platforms work smoothly and look great. No sideloading hacks are necessary. As we mentioned, Netflix is present and works fine. You can even use Google Assistant with the inbuilt voice remote and the Chromecast function, which lets you easily cast content directly from your smartphone. The inbuilt speakers are surprisingly usable, not booming, but clear enough for dialogue. You're gonna want to connect a Bluetooth speaker for movies or music though. Audio delay over Bluetooth is minimal, which is great. The Wanbo Vali 1 keeps it simple: HDMI, USB and Bluetooth. Casting works fine, and it supports screen mirroring from Android and iOS devices both. Just don't expect blazing fast Wi-Fi performance. No Wi-Fi Edition 6 here, but it's good enough for most streaming with the dual-band implementation. The USB port is full-sized, according to the 2.0 specifications. Given the system on a chip inside, it's perfectly fine, feels the same about using Bluetooth peripherals. And HDMI with version 1.4, anything above it is unnecessary given the lack of 4K or higher refresh rate supported. As for the remote control, unfortunately, this is where the Wanbo cuts some corners. The remote works fine, has all the needed buttons, but no backlight. Movie night in the dark? Good luck finding the volume button. Small detail, a big annoyance sometimes. As for power consumption, at maximum load it runs 106 watts, which is quite efficient. The fan, always on, and it's sometimes audible. Not loud enough to ruin the scene, but definitely present. You're gonna hear it during quiet moments, unless you're using external speakers. So if this counts as a drawback, and you're looking to hear from me a few more, then let's begin. The slow autofocus, no HDR support, limited amount of picture tuning options, the remote has no backlight, and the first-time setup which feels a little clunky. My conclusion about the Wanbo Vali 1 is that it is a projector that does not try to compete with the best on the market, not even challenging the high-end mid-rangers. It actually delivers very well what Wanbo promised it would do. 1080p resolution, not the latest and greatest in terms of technology, but very well covering not just the basics, but giving you a chance to try out a lot of good features that you would find in a lot more expensive devices as well. Therefore, if you're looking for home cinema on a budget, or getting to buy your first projector, explore everything, figure out what matters to you, and then purchase something a lot more expensive and capable, the Vali 1 could be a perfect match. This is my opinion at least, and I'm looking to hear about yours. Comment section down below the video is the right place to do it. Also, if you want to find more information about the Vali 1 or buy yourself one unit at a very good price with a discount, I'm gonna leave a link in the video description area. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Michael, the Tech Mishka. Please support my hard, honest work here on the channel. Giving a like, subscribing to the channel is a good start. You can find more somewhere down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.